All right. So, we're looking at this abacus, we're looking at the mazes, and this is what it looks like. How are we doing? Good morning. Let's see. We can keep going. So, this next number here, 600. 600 out of the abacus. Hello, good morning, good morning. What we're doing is we're learning to read the abacus. We're going to do 664. So 664, what does that look like? Well, on the abacus, we do 600. Thank you so much for liking the live. 664. So whenever the beads are touching the reckoning bar, this is the reckoning bar. Whenever the beads are touching the reckoning bar, that is what's considered counted. So here we have the top bead is a value of 5. The bottom bead is a value of 1. So together they make 6. So one bead on top and one bead on bottom is 6. However, what's going to happen is the top bead is always a value of 5 no matter what. So if I have 1 here like that, this would be 1. So if I added 5, it would be 6. It's the same thing with the 4. You notice that there's 4 beads on the abacus? We have 4 beads on the abacus. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. When we add the 5, now this becomes 9. But that's not what we want. What we want is 4. So it's 6, 6, 4. That's what that looks like. And that's what this number is right here. 6, 6, 4. And then we have our next number. We have, is that too bright? That's a little bright. Okay. We have, what number do we have? Well, we can look. We have 5, 7, 1. So we have 5 on the abacus, 7. Notice I have 2 beads on the bottom and the 5 bead is touching the reckoning bar. That's considered 7. This is 7. And then we have 1. Notice that there's a difference between the beads. The reckoning bar is what differentiates between the top beads and the bottom beads. The top bead is always a value of 5. The bottom bead is always a value of 1. So when we're looking and we bring it together, every time the beads are touching this reckoning bar, it is considered counted. Because these beads are not counted, right? These are at the bottom. These are not touching the reckoning bar. So these are not counted. That's why this is number 5. This is 5. This is a representation of 5. This over here is a representation of 7. 7, right? We have 1 top bead and 2 bottom beads. Notice that these 2 bottom beads are not touching the reckoning bar, so they're not being considered, right? They're not counted. And then we have this one. This is 1. That's easy, right? Simple. Whatever's touching the reckoning bar is what's considered counted. So the only 1 bead is counted. These 3 beads that at the bottom are not counted, and this top bead is not counted. If I added the top bead like this would be 6, but it is not 6. It is 1. So we have to pay attention to both the top beads and the bottom beads. So my answer here is 571. That's what that is. Thank you so much for liking the live. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, apartment. Good morning, doorway. Good morning, wall. Good morning, ceiling. Good morning, floor. Ready to start the day.
Ready to start the day. Okay, so what's our next number? Well, again, we're going to look at our beads. We have our number. We have 6, 8, 5. Now, how do I know these numbers? Well, remember, the top bead is a value of 5. So because we have 5 touching the reckoning bar, and then we have the 1 bead touching the reckoning bar, hey, welcome back, Z. Yes, it is 6, 8, 5. Thank you. And that's what the number is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning, Jess. Good morning. Good morning.
Step 2, greet the day, smile, and say, Good morning, city.
How long do I stream? I probably stream for a couple of hours, depending on how tired I get. Because performing takes a lot of energy. So you're right. It is 685. Yeah. If you don't know how to do the formulas, I can't help you with your homework. You have to know the formulas, and you need to know how to... Oh, hello, not so pro. Oh, what happened? That's funny. Hello, not so pro. And then I see that you have a picture this time. How are you doing? It's been a little bit, yeah? I've got some new sound bits. You came back for the sound bits. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Good morning, apartment. Good morning, doorway. Good morning, wall. Good morning, ceiling. Good morning, floor. Ready to start the day.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Yes, thank you. It is. It is 895. Well done. We have. I missed this slide for. I've got new sound bits. So when you do it, good morning, little dude. Good morning. So we have, and we have some new kids. So we have 8, 9, 5. How did I get that? We have 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we have 5. So when we're looking, we have 8, 9, 5. Well done. Thank you so much. So then our next number is. I'm just going to. I like how you teach. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I have some jokes too, but they're kind of corny, like dad jokes, but they're not. They're like Abacus mom jokes. All right. So our next number is going to be the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. I can hear. Can we hear the Lego? Yes. This is what I got.
Good morning, apartment. Good morning, doorway. Morning wall, morning ceiling. Good morning, floor. Ready to start the day.
So we have our hundreds, excuse me, we have our tens, and we have our ones. When you're looking, we have our top beat here. Easy to follow and soothe. And my brain absorbs the info so easy. So we have 9. The top beat is a value of 5. We have 4. Unless I get trolls, right? And then I'm just kind of like quick-witted. So we have 9, 5 on the top beat, 4 on the bottom, together makes 9. And then we have 3. Notice the 5 on the top does not touch the reckoning bar, it is not counted. So this is 3. And this is 1. Again, the top beat is not considered counted because it's not touching the reckoning bar. And then this is 1 because the 1 is touching the reckoning bar. Thank you, Polito, for sharing my live. So our number is 931. Oh, that's right. For those of you that are interested, I do have this book. It is available. What are we doing? We're doing the 3-digit abacus. That's what we're doing. 3-digit abacus maze. For those of you that are interested, I did pin it to the bottom. It is the number 1 in my store, apparently. I guess that's the last one I uploaded. So yeah. So the only question is, why are we starting in the middle of that? Jade, that's a really good question. Thank you so much for asking. And I'm very happy that it's not a trolling question. The reason why is because I have a label right here. This label tells me this is the ones place. That's what that means. So because I have it here, then I can just easily line it up. So when we're having our numbers, we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. We have 6, 7, 8, 9. How long would it take a 5th grader to learn how to use the abacus? If I really think about it, if you consider with all of the formulas and everything, it should take them maybe a month to get to multiplication. I don't watch your lives, but I've learned how to read these because of your. Oh, yeah, I see. I thought Q was being a troll. Yes, thank you. Good, thank you. Yeah, and I hope the videos are helpful and also entertaining. Thank you. I appreciate that you take your time to learn the videos. Thank you so much, Q. Oh, okay, I understand. Okay, yeah. So before I continue, here's my ones. Don't forget, after the ones is my decimals. It's my decimals and my tenths and my hundreds. No, these are very helpful. No, I understand, Q. How do you multiply with it? S2. We can learn how to multiply. Oh, thank you, Sarah, for sharing. Wow, that's fantastic. You shared my life with more than 5 friends. Thank you so much, Sarah. So, Brittany, if that makes sense, for a 5th grader, yeah, you can get all the way to multiplication. But it would take a little bit. Maybe maybe 1 month is a little aggressive. The reason why is because the reason why I'm maybe hesitant, maybe it should take a couple of months because they need to really understand the formulas. But then I'm thinking if that's the only thing that they do. But if they have other things they have to do, like reading, social science, and all that stuff, it might take them a few months to get them caught up. The reason why is because there's formulas that needs to happen, and they need to understand this concept. It depends on how quick they can pick it up, and it depends on how quickly they can absorb the information. And practice. It's all about practice. But see, the thing is, right? How long would it take me to learn? Are you in 5th grade? That you know what I mean? Like, if you're in 5th grade, let me know how you do, and then I could tell you, and I could kind of guesstimate how well you're going to do. But I do have 5th graders that actually have gone through my Abacus, my lives, and they've done very well. So maybe in a few months you'll be able to understand it. Yeah. All right. So how do you multiply on it? We will get to that in a little bit, but the first thing we need to do, S2 art, we need to understand how to read the abacus. That's the first thing we need to do, because you need to learn how to crawl before you learn how to run. So the first thing we're going to do is understand how do we not multiply, but how do we read the abacus. So we have our understanding, right? We have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. So just as I did here, I lined it up. We have our hundreds, right? Ones, tens, hundreds. And then if you notice, there's a grouping, this group marker here. Oh, I'm a grown out. This is my first time hearing about an abacus. Oh, I see. Mr. Clean! Mr. Clean! It took Mr. Clean. Mr. Clean is also part of that area, right? That demographic. And Mr. Clean was able to pick it up. But I don't know how much he understood. Right? Like, I don't know how quickly he understood. Hello, Mr. Clean. Yes, thank you. So it's 426. Am I late? Nope, you're just on time, Philip. We were just talking about how to read the abacus. And then we're going to go into understanding how to add and subtract, multiply, and divide. Hey, Mr. Clean, how long did it take you to learn the abacus? But it was also pretty intense because he started when I started. Good morning, Mr. Clean. Did you start school yet, Mr. Clean? So our next number is our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. Remember, the top beat is a value of 5 and the bottom beat is a value of 2. So we have our 5. So if I did this, this would be 2. This is not yet. Oh, you're so lucky. My kids already started. This is, I think, their first week. So then if I take this 5 and I take it and remove it like this is 1. But when I add it, it is now 6. We have the same thing. So we have our If I take away the 5, we have 2. We add the 5, it is now 6. It took me a few of your lives to understand. Thank you, Mr. Clean, for being honest. Yeah, it does take a little bit, but then I also have workbooks to help the process of learning. And as long as they know how to do their multiplication facts, right? As long as they understand their multiplication facts, like they've memorized it, then doing multiplication is very easy on the abacus. Yep. Yeah. Because what we do on the abacus is we do distributive property. I think I got to figure it out. Okay, good. So let me finish my maze, and then we're going to continue on doing some adding and subtracting. So it took about a week. I got an app and practiced addition and subtraction over and over again. Yeah, right? And it's all about the addition subtraction, because once you get to understanding the addition subtraction, then we could do multiplication and division. Because what's multiplication and division? Multiplication and division is really just fast math. It's just fast adding and fast subtraction, but we're doing it at scale. So you really need to really know your multiplication fact. In abacus, you really need to know your multiplication fact. But in abacus, we only need to know all the way up to 9 times 9. You only need to know up to 9 times 9. Oh, so I have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. What number do we think this is? What number do we think this is? So we have our number and our place value. Notice that the top bead is being added to the reckoning bar, and then there's these bottom beads. This bottom bead is not touching, so it's not counted as the reckoning bar. Thank you, Philip. Yes, you're right. It is 587. Well done. 500, because the top bead is a value of 5. And so when we have it together, right, this is 3. We have the top bead. This is 5. Thank you, Sarah. So we have 500. We have 80. 5 plus 3 is 8. And then 5 plus 2 is 7. So if I did that, that would be 2. And then I would have that. This would be 3. So if I did 4, that's what 4 looks like. I have to remove the 5. But if I did this, this is now 8. If I take away the 5, this is 3. Thank you. And so we have 587. I can read the abacus. Oh, good. Oh, good. And then we're on a final number. We're on our final number in our maze. So when we're looking, we have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. It does take a little bit because you don't have your own, right? If you had your own, it would be a lot easier and quicker. Because then you can have it and you play with it. What is it? Oh my God. 7 a.m. Nice to see you. Hello, treasure. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay. It is 283. Yes, 283. So we have 2 on the abacus. These are touching the reckoning bar. We have 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have 3 right here. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Jay. I have 4 dots on mine. How do I read that? What does that mean? How do you have 4 dots? Does that mean that you have bigger? Does that mean that your abacus is bigger? It was B recognition addition, more than 2-digit adding, subtraction, then more to do, yeah, subtraction, multiplication, more than 3 digits, division. And now all I need to do is decimals, multiplication, divisions, and then 2-digit division. I'm still waiting for a triple-digit addition. I believe it is bigger than that. Oh, I see. So yes, so then it works exactly the same. If I was to line it up, there we go. This is a 13 column abacus. A 13 column abacus, mine has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots. So if this is 2 dots, right? If this is the ones, this is the thousands. If I choose this one to be my ones place, then I would just do this. It would be my ones, thousands, millions. That's all it is. Ones, thousands, millions. If I choose, your students want more. Thank you. Thank you, treasure. So if I choose this one to be my ones place, we have our ones, thousands, millions, and then billions. That next dot would be billions. Thank you, Yees. So then we have our next one, right? We have our, if I choose this one to be my ones, then be my ones, thousands, millions, billions, and then trillions. If that makes sense. Thank you, Mr. Clean, for the rundown. Yeah, I was working on some of that stuff too. I was just still trying to create my book. It does take a little bit to organize the book so it makes more sense. So the dots are commas. Exactly. The dots are commas. The dots are commas. So, and then it also depends. So here's another example, right? If I did 4 million here, no, what is this? Thousands, millions, billions. So if I did billions here, this would be 4 billion, right? 006 million, 00000. So my ones would be over here. So it'd be ones, thousands, millions, and then billions. So we have 4, 6, 0, right? If I did this one, like that, 00099, which exactly the same as this, 99000. But notice I have these 2 beats to be my decimals. Good morning, Vinters. Ready for the weekend? Not quite. I'm lucky to be able to have 2 more students coming on to my classes, so I'm quite excited. I'm going to start them off, and we'll see how they go. They're 4.5, both of them. Yeah. Okay, sorry. So, yes, I just watched a video. I literally learned that in the dots and the commas, basically. Yes. Good. Great. Yes, so the dots are, yeah, that's what's in it. Okay, good. So, now you might be wondering, well, what happens if I choose a different dot to be my ones place? For this one, for this example, if I choose this one to be my ones place over here, so we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. When we're looking, right, it would look like this. If I had 1 here, then my decimal sits here, and this would be all decimals. 00001. That's what it would look like. Does that make sense, Jay? So now we have a lot. Now our number can be very, 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 very small. And be the same thing with this. If I choose this one to be my ones place, then I have all of this to make the decimals. This is like my comfort life. Thank you, Mr. Clean. So location is difference between Yes, exactly, exactly. Because if I have 99.5, right, or I have 99.5, it actually does. Is it the location? It's not the location. It's the amount of digits you need. So if I needed to do this, it'd be 99.5, 7, 4, 9, 3. But if I did it here, if I did 99, this would be 5, this would be 7. I have no more room to do the other numbers. So the location, it's about how big your number or how small your number needs to be. And so you just choose depending on the dot. That's why they're dots. That's why they're labels, and they're not decimals. They are not decimals. They're the locations of whether you want to have their ones place and then their groupings, right? So it's easy. It's really kind of cool because if this is my ones, my dot is here. I know this is my thousandths because it's labeled, which is cool. But in mainstream, and when we write it out, we don't have commas to tell us how big the number is. So, but in Abacus, you can actually see, and it's really interesting on how it's like it's labeled nicely. So I know that this is my millionths, which is really cool. So we could see that there's a number pattern. We have our ones, right? Thousandths, and then millionths, and then billionths. Yeah, that's what I noticed. Tens, thousands, tens, hundred thousands, 10,000, 100,000, millionths, 10 millions. And I don't understand how come we have commas for the bigger number, but we don't have commas for the lower number to break it up. You know what I mean? That would have been cool. I don't know why they didn't do that. Anyways, I see you here with me a lot. Oh, Mr. Clean. Okay, so that is about how to read the abacus. For those of you that are interested, I do have this available in my shop. There are others. If you're looking for more books, I do have other books available in my here. My abacus doesn't have dots at all. What kind of abacus do you have? Do you have a 2 and 5? If you're looking for more books, I do have my collection over here. My name is Lynette, and I've been teaching abacus for about 20 years. And I am trying to introduce the matrix. I'm trying to introduce the matrix, the abacus. I'm trying to introduce the abacus to the matrix.
Welcome to the real world.
Jay, does your abacus have... How many beads does your abacus have? So, Brittany, are you still around? Are you understanding? Oh, thank you. Thank you for checking in, Brittany. Thank you for checking in. I was just about to ask. So, does that make sense, right? Mine has 9 columns. Yes, but how many beads does it have? Do I play any instruments? You can draw on it. Oh, yes. Okay, good. So, what we're going to do is we're going to understand how to move the beads. The first thing we're going to do... Can I draw on it? It's a 7 per column. 7 per column. Yes. So you have a Chinese abacus, Jay. That's what it sounds like. This Chinese abacus is different than the soroban. The soroban is a Japanese abacus. The Japanese abacus is what? A Japanese abacus is different than a Chinese abacus. Yep. So when we're looking, it looks very similar, but it's different. Chinese, Japanese. Chinese, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because we can have 5, we're going to trade it into this. That's 5. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, so trade this in to make another 5. But then we're going to trade this in to make a 10. That's what we're going to do, right? And then we do 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Trade this in to be 15. And then we have 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Trade this in to be 20. Thank you. If I buy a book for a beginner 5th grader, which one is it? I would suggest either I would suggest a 3-digit one, because that would be where we would start. And does your 5th grader know multiplication? What does the adult book address? Yeah, I got it. Okay, hold on. The Japanese one is more efficient. Yes. So Jay, one more thing. If you wanted to follow my books, I would only use the middle ones if you're looking for it. I don't teach the Chinese abacus. I teach the Japanese abacus. Yeah. Not by memory, but we're actively working on it. Okay. So, no, you'll have time. Because the reason why is you could depending on you could start on the 3 digit. You could start on the 3 digit. I do have a 4 digit. I just gotta list it. Hold on, treasure. Let me get to. I almost got there. I'm almost there. Um, So you have a choice of either a 3 digit abacus maze or a 4 digit abacus maze. Now the only difference is the amount of digits, right? So I was be cognizant on it might be if the 3 digit one is okay, right? If they already know they're 3 digits and it's fine, then you can do the 4 digit. It just means that it's one more digit. So for me it doesn't matter, but that's what a 4 digit looks like. I just learned how to use the abacus in London. Thank you. You're welcome, London. Not by memory. Okay, got it. I tapped the live because TikTok of hers is just literally taught me prior. I topped the. I'm sorry. Yes, you could use the Chinese. I just don't use the top and the bottom. Yes, but should they all be the same fundamentally? No, no. The Japanese abacus had made it more efficient. We're using concepts now in the Japanese abacus. The concepts are how to add the 5 and how to make a 5. Looks like the 4 digit has a few. There's a couple of 3 digits, right? There's supposed to be a combination, right? So I did from 0 to 4, 0 digits to 4 digits. So there's like a couple of but it's all the same. You could do the 4 digit if you want to wait a little bit. I am going to be posting this in my shop later on, and I was going to have it come with an abacus. Yeah, that's what I was going to do. I just haven't posted it yet. So there was going to be a bundle, and then there was going to be one without the abacus, and there's 2 sets of mazes, and what does this do is it just teaches how to read the abacus. After this, then you can go into understanding how to utilize the number, how to add and subtract, multiply and divide. If she's quick, then I would recommend going into into the adult one. I did create the adult book. The adult book is a lot faster pace. The way I have the broken up, these owl books, they're for the younger ones. They're very focused on the topic. So we only talk about minusing the 5, but you go through a whole slew of understanding how to minus the 5. It's single digits for now, but then the next book would be double digits. I need to find my adult book. Why am I not seeing this? Oh, here it is. The adult book. You might want to go into the adult book. It might be better It might be better after the 4 digit. You might want to go into the adult one, and this too will also go into my TikTok shop today. The adult book talks about adding of the 5, taking away the 5, adding the 10, taking away the 10. And there's this concept called a 2-step equation. So this 2-step equation just means that you take the numbers, the formula that you have, and you put it together. So, Mr. Clean, did you see this? Did you see that I have this book? I finally got it into my hands. Now I have to publish it and list it. So in the book, I did. Oh, okay, good. So again, what I have here is I teach you how to read the abacus. It goes from 0 to 1, 0 to 9, and then we just talk about the beads itself. We have the understanding of the tens and the ones. I still like the yes, the owl with the old hair. It's supposed to be like Einstein, but I didn't want to do a mustache. There's a mask maze. The reason why there's a mask maze is because there's a maze, and so this maze was to help cover the path. But I noticed that the abacus is a little. I'm sorry. I noticed that the paper is a little thin, so you have the opportunity to download it and to print it on a thicker paper. This here is supposed to be like a place card that I have. Like what I did here, right? So the idea was it doesn't matter which one you choose. You can choose this dot to be your ones, and it lines up. you could choose this dot to be your ones, and it should line up roughly. Oh, there it is. Right? So that's what this is. It's supposed to mimic my place cards. Then, after that, we go into the mazes. Again, this is just like just a few pages on how to read the abacus. And then after that, we go into adding and subtracting. So in the adult book, we go straight into adding and subtracting, and then we go into, there's some still activities. I still put into activities like pixel art. I have the reviewing of adding the 5 and taking away the 5. When you understand how to add the 5 and take away the 5, then there's a couple of activities. After the activities, then you have to learn how to minus the 5, because if you know how to add, you will know how to subtract. Again, there's more activities. And then this is the accumulation of what the making of the 5 is. After that, you will understand how to make a 10. How to make a 10 is like carrying on and borrowing. So the same concept, but it's just bigger numbers. And then it just depends on what we're trying to do. So I have color by number, and then we start understanding the beginning parts of multiplication. Multiplication, this is just repetitive addition. So if you add the 1, add the 1, add the 1, add the 2, add the 2, add the 2. So if I had 2 times 4 is 2 times 4 is 4 times 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 times is the 2, right? And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show the beginning parts of addition, repetitive addition, which is another form of multiplication. The word ladder to explain more, no, to strengthen the idea of what plus 10 is, and then we go into minus 10. After minus 10, again, we have the color by number, and I give you I give you space to write the formula, because sometimes we need to write the formula. The idea was to write the formula so you know what it is. Okay, hold on, Tan, hold on. Let me do a little review, and then we'll go into 13 minus 8. So here we have the Abacus framework, and then Abacus framework, this is the two-step equation. This is the two-step equation that I don't usually talk about in my lives, because everybody is ready for multiplication. So that's fine. But two-step equation is actually really quite critical to understand, because that's how you know you're going to be very flexible in understanding how everything works. And then we have puzzles. You answer the questions here, and then you cut out the puzzle pieces, and then you try to figure out what the picture looks like. Again, there is space for you to write the formula, and then we start going into the multiplication, and then again two-step equation, and then more puzzles, and then I give you more exercises to do addition, subtraction, multiplying, not multiplying, but hidden word, color by number, mosaic, and then addition. So that's it. So if you're ever wondering, I do have the answers in the back of the book. That took a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. So that is what the adult book is. There you go. Yes, exactly, Mr. Clean. So it is a two-step equation. So we're going to do it on this. Right? Just as Mr. Clean said. So the question is 13 minus 8. What do we do first? We got to minus 8. When I look it on my abacus, I do 1 and 3, right? I want to minus the 8. 10, what is my formula to minus the 8? Yeah, what's my formula to minus the 8? I want to take away 8 here. So Mr. Clean said minus the 10 plus the 2. Plus the 2. Can you add the 2? Thank you. Yes, minus the 10 plus the 2. How do we add the 2 here? Can't do it, can you? Can we add the 5? Yes. So just as Mr. Clean said, plus the 5 minus 3. Plus the 5 minus 3. So the final answer is 5. Why? Because this becomes our two-step equation. That's why. And you need to understand that these two are connected. So this is an example of a two-step equation. Brittany, did that make sense? That was the run-through of my Introduction to Abacus for Adults. So for if it's too fast, then I would suggest to go one book at a time. That's what I have right now. I am in the process of creating more books, but it does take time to put it together. Yeah, it is. These are all my books, and these are all the books that I have in my brain. And I have it in the TikTok shop, and I do have it in the other place. I'm still learning. I got the first part. Okay, yeah, of course you're still learning, but it makes sense, right? So, but it could be, I don't know. It is up to you to start, not start, but it is up to you to, if you want to start with just learning how to add the 5, because that's the biggest thing. The reason why is because that's the first concept of trying to understand how to utilize the abacus. Because when we're utilizing the abacus, we're doing a different concept than what mainstream math does. Because mainstream math, they do a lot of counting up. So if I had 4 on the abacus, I need to find my book. Here it is. So here's the question, right? One more example of two-step. It's my enemy, soon to be my friend. Okay, yeah. Hold on. Here. So in the book, oh, I gotta find it. So 14. 7 plus 7. No, minus. Right? Let's do that. We have 14 on the abacus. We have 14 on the abacus, right? What do? We have to minus the 7. Minus the 7 is what? Minus the 7 is minus the 10 plus the 3. Minus the 10, I want to add the 3, right? Thank you, Mr. Clean. I want to add the 3. What do? To add the 3, we have to remember to add the 3 is what? Plus the 5 minus the 2. Thank you, Mr. Clean. So it's plus the 5. That's how we add the 3. We have to minus the 5, plus the 5 minus the 2. So we plus the 5, take away the 2. Wow, that was really good. I even surprised myself. So that's my explanation. That's the two-step equation. We do it again. We can do 16. Because there's a 4 there? Yes, exactly. So if I had 14, take away 7. I take away the 10 plus the 3. There's no more room to plus the 3, right? So what do? I have to utilize this 5. So we have to plus the 5, take away the 2. We can do it again, right? We can do 14, right? 14 minus 6. Well, with the minus 6, it doesn't seem very complicated at all, right? That's what I'm saying. How integrated. I love your teaching abacus. Oh, thank you, Omar. Right? So what are we doing? 14 minus 6. What do? Minus 6 is what? 10, are you ready? Right? Minus 6 is minus the 10 plus the 4. Can't plus the 4. Thank you, Mr. Clean. Right? Can't plus the 4. What do? Plus the 4. What do? Plus the 4 is plus the 5 minus the 1. Thank you, Mr. Clean. I really like this page. That's such a great page. Plus the 5 minus the 1. I'm brilliant. So we go one step at a time. One step at a time. Thank you, Mr. Clean. I surprise myself. You know why? Because nobody else talks the way I do. Nobody talks the way I don't. Not yet. I gotta list it. I'm gonna list it today. Can we do one more thing? Get it? Oh yeah, of course. Because guess what? I've got a whole example. We're doing negative, or not negative. We're doing subtraction. Subtraction is a little bit more difficult because we don't think about subtraction. I'm gonna make my kids watch you. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I am here. I am here all night. Oh, I could level it up.
Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up.
That's what you guys are doing. You're leveling up your abacus. You're leveling up your concept of understanding math. That's what you guys are doing because abacus does that. Abacus helps you level up your concepts. Right? So we have 14 again. We'll do 14, right? We want to add the 8. To add the 8, we know that 8 has a partner. The partner is 2. I want to make a 10 with an 8, right? So the 8 is here. Take away the 10 and you add the 2. Cannot add this 2. What do we do? To add the 2, we have to add the 5, take away the 3, right? That's what we need to do. Add the 5, take away the 3. So my final answer is 6. We don't memorize, we don't memorize how to get the answer. We don't memorize the answer. We memorize how to get the answer. How do you minus the 8? How do you add the 2? That's what we need to do. We need to understand how to use the beads. When we know how to use our numbers, then we can actually interlock them and it doesn't matter. Then it becomes scalable, right? We're not forced to understanding the different strategies and remembering the different strategies because it clutters our brain. What Abacus does is it simplifies a lot of the things, so then you have more room to do algebra, calculus, geometry, trigonometry, and all the other like finite math and so forth. So when we're looking, it is very simple. You do a lot of repetition, but that repetition comes to automatic, and when it's automatic, then you can go into bigger math. You can get into complex math. Thank you everybody for for liking my live. Thank you again for liking my live. But that's the reason why I'm pushing the abacus, because although it is simple and you don't have all these different strategies, but abacus or adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing should not be as complicated as mainstream math makes it. It should not have tons of strategies. Oh, you just figure out your own way to do. It's like, no, do the one way. And so when you go to calculus, then you have more brain power to figure out what they're trying to say. Trig on the abacus, is that what you said? No, you don't do trig on the abacus. The only thing you do on the abacus is add, subtract, multiply, divide. What I'm saying is when you understand the abacus, you'll have room in your brain for trig. That's what I'm saying. You'll have more room for trig. You'll have more room for algebra. You'll have more room to understand how to do pre-calc and geometry. I was about to say, that sounds really hard. Yeah, no. No, you'll have room in your brain to do other things if you simplified this concept. So we'll do it one more time. We can do 14 on the abacus. 1, 4, 10. This is it. We're doing a full-on two-step equation, right? We want to minus the 9. Minus the 9 is what? Minus the 10 plus the... This is the way. Yes, you're right. I forget. This is the way. Where is my... This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
Yeah. Right? And so we want to plus the 1. Because I don't have any more beads to add the 1, what do? I have to plus the 5. So here, I'm going to plus the 5, but I have to take away that 4. If this is a little bit sticky, then you need to really go back and understand and memorize how to add the 5 and take away the 5. If this part is sticky, you should be able to be like, oh, I need to add the 1. Boom. You know what I mean? It should not be, oh, what do? When you get to this part here, you should be able to see to add the 1. I should not have to tell you to add the 1. Does that make sense, Tan? So if this doesn't become automatic, to making a 5 doesn't become automatic, then we need to do it a little bit more often so it becomes more automatic. Okay, good. Yeah. So when I look at it, right, even when I go back to here, if I do 14 minus the 8 is minus the 10 plus the 2. Oh, can't minus the 2. I know I need to do that. Right? So the idea is you should be able to see if I need to plus the 2, I need to do that. That part should be automatic. Because you get to a point where you do it enough times, this will become automatic. You'll start seeing the number pattern. If I add the 3, becomes 6. If I take away the 3, it becomes 4. That is what should happen.
Oh, I love it. Great stuff.
Yeah. And so that was a two-step equation. Two-step equation is a little bit, but I try to give you enough exercises to be comfortable with it. And that's it. But yeah, this is my book. I just gotta list it. I gotta list it and I'm done. I gotta list it and then it'll be available. Yes. How fast are you with that? I'm not very fast. I mean, I've been teaching Abacus for 20 years, but I teach Abacus, I don't practice. So it's different to teach than it is to practice. My boys, they used to be able to do it really fast, but I didn't get them to do it in competition. I didn't push competition. I pushed comprehension, analysis, critical thinking, and comfortable. That's what I pushed. If they got the answer wrong, I tell them to do it again until they understand why they got it wrong. So I get to the point where, but then I didn't have to help them with their math until they're into algebra. And even with algebra, I didn't have to help them with too much with algebra. They just got a little bit confused if the question got a little bit complicated, because it's also a process of thinking too. So Abacus also provides a process of thinking, and that's where the framework comes in. So there's a process of understanding. If I want to do 17, right? I started helping my kids third grade math. The way they do mathematics confuses me. Oh, yeah. New math? Yeah. Tan, if you want to send me some questions, I can help you with it. I started looking at the new math stuff, and it is a little bit confusing. It's common core. No. Common core. Abacus is common core. Common core concept itself is actually not awful. It's how they go about it, right? Like new math, that's the concept that they're trying to do. So Max got mixed up. So Abacus got mixed up. Abacus got ignored. So in Common Core, we do in Abacus world, we do Common Core, because we understand concepts. So again, this is what we did. We added the 5, we added the 10. The difference between mainstream math is that they have a blank piece of paper, and then there is no restrictions, whereas in Abacus there's restrictions. So just like a simple concept like this, adding of the 4, instead of counting 4 pens, then you could just add 4 more pens. Well, if you just keep adding, right, then the sky's the limit. You can count up to whatever number. But in Abacus, we're restricted. So we have to figure out, well, if I have this constraint, how do I work with it? So that's why we have to add the 5 to give us our 8. But in mainstream, because the paper, there is no limit to the paper. It doesn't matter. So then what happens is what? With the paper, you have to understand how to do place values. That's why it becomes really complicated when you add those extra zeros. Good morning, Chaotic. Good morning.
Good morning, apartment. Good morning, doorway. Morning wall. Morning ceiling. Good morning, floor. Ready to start the day.
Yeah. I don't know how the algorithms work, but it's really interesting raising meat rabbits, and I'm actually very interested in it. I started binging on that, and I'm like, oh my God. Then there was one, like 2 months ago, because I cut my boy's hair. 2 months ago, I have all of these videos on how to cut hair, and I'm like, this is crazy. I don't get it. I don't get how the algorithm works. But I just keep trying to introduce Abacus to the matrix, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Chaotic. I appreciate it. As a math major zillions years ago, this excites me. Oh, that's funny. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I've been able to I've been able to spark a lot of the math majors' interest. Like there was this one person. He was in Britain. And he is a math professor, like he's a PhD math researcher. He didn't know about the abacus, and I was able to convince him that abacus was the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
Yeah, and so that's the other thing, right? The other thing is doing the abacus, so then it keeps your brain active. I mean, I'm not I know that a lot of people have gone through it, and they're starting to see that they're able to think a lot quicker. I do know that some of the parents that are like introducing it to their kids, I know that they're actually putting it in their everyday life, which is crazy. And they're like, it's amazing. Thank you for checking in, Chaotic. For those of you that are interested, please go ahead and check in where my face is. Yes, I think quicker, right, Tan? Like, it's crazy. It's so crazy. But when you see it, you cannot unsee it. Somebody, yeah, right? Somebody said that. Somebody said, if you see it, you cannot unsee it. Right? Crazy. Crazy. Oh, I don't know if I showed that. So yes, this will be available later today. After I get off my live, that'll be my priority, is to put this into my shop. I'm gonna do two. There's gonna be an option to have the colorful abacus, excuse me, or the 13 column abacus with your bundle. Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. But that's my priority is to get my book online, as well as do you mind I do finger abacus? And mind you, I do finger abacus. Oh yeah, yeah. Do you only go up to 99, or do you go up to higher? Because I can only see the tens. You could do higher. You would have to keep it in your head, right? Yeah. And then there were 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't know. Do I do Sudoku? I do Sudoku if I have time, but my time has been mostly making more books. My time has been mostly making like how to make more books for Abacus, and so that's been really interesting. I don't do Sudoku as an Abacus. Yeah. I don't have that time. I don't have a lot of time to watch TV because I'm trying to build out my books, because I'm trying to abacify the world. And as I abacify the world, I need to find resources and figure out how to find resources and figure out how to explain, these basic concepts, so it's easy for everybody to understand, and formatting in different ways. My plan is to actually make Abacus one for each grade. Mr. Clean, what grade are you in? Are you in 6th grade now? Or are you, I don't know what grade you're in. I don't think I've ever asked you. There's another one that came in. So what did I get? What got me into Abacus? My dad forced me to learn Abacus because he wanted to open up a learning center. I'm in high school. Oh, no wonder. Okay. Yeah, because you're pretty quick. But I wouldn't recommend for the high schoolers to learn. But this was in the beginning. So you're doing algebra already? An accelerated math? Sudoku has brought up a lot. I love Sudoku. Not sure how it relates to Abacus. It doesn't. Sudoku is brought up because it is a puzzle-like. Because it's puzzle-like, Abacus is like a puzzle. It's cool. It's still cool. Oh, okay. I thought you were a lot younger. I did algebra in 8th grade. Yeah, Abacus has a lot of algebraic formulas, algebraic features. So, but yeah. Yeah. So, so the reason why Sudoku is brought up is because Sudoku is a puzzle, and Abacus is like a puzzle, because you have to figure out how to work the numbers. That's what it is. So like something like this, right? 436, right? And so in Abacus world, we go from left to right. We take away the 1, we take away the 7. To take away the 7, it's minus the 10 plus the 3. Minus the 10 plus the 3. Can't do it. Plus the 3 is plus the 5 minus the 2, right? And then we have 2 plus the 6. Can't do it. Minus the 10 plus the 6. Plus the 6 is, what? Minus the 4. Minus the 4 is minus the 5 plus the 1. No, wait, what? Minus the 6. There we go, minus the 6. So, kind of there, finger bending in the is the hundreds now. Interesting. Does Abacus help solve math problems at a quicker rate? What is the goal? No. Math problems is a different skill. The skill is to understand how to read, right? Abacus, the only thing that Abacus does is it visualizes your numbers. That's the only thing it does. And it gives you a different way of looking at your numbers. That's all it does. So if I was to give you this number, all I'm doing is this. For all you know, I could have done a calculation in my head. Does that make sense? So the only thing that the abacus does is it visualizes your numbers. There's a methodology, which is, how do you move the beads, which is what I've been explaining. But the math problems themselves, they are a different beast altogether, because you need to learn how to read. You need to understand the words. You need to understand the words that are happening on the page. So like the simple idea, right? Mia has 6 stamps and she mails 3 stamps to her friends. Well, when she mails 3 stamps, what are we doing here? We're taking away. So you have to understand the concept of the words. She mails, so that means she's taking away 3 stamps from her collection. How many stamps does she have now? You know what I mean? So learning the math problems is different than doing abacus. You could do it with an abacus, right? If I have 3, if I have 6, and I take away 3, I just minus the 5 plus the 2. The idea of the abacus is just to visualize the math. Is to visualize the numbers. And then you can start seeing how the numbers work, because that's what it is. The goal of abacus is just to do quicker math, to do quicker calculations. Whether or not they do it in their brain, it is up to you. She used the 3 stamps to mail and the other 3 stamps. Yeah. I don't get it. She has 3 stamps to mail the other 3 stamps. Funny, Donna. Right? So do I push? I don't push mental math. Mainstream pushes mental math. I push being comfortable with math. Don't have math anxiety. Math is easy. Math is simple. Math is easy to use. That is what I'm here for. I know a lot of people that come to my live and they're like, I've got math anxiety. It's very traumatic. Learning math in mainstream is very traumatic, and I'm here to show that it's not that complicated. This is how it's easy. Because when you can see it, thank you, Mr. Clean. Because when you can see it, it is very easy. It is very easy to understand what you're trying to do. Right? Once it's easy, yeah, because it's one thing to see the numbers. Seeing the numbers is very a symbol. It's a symbol. That's the concept. Not a concept. That's the thing. We don't recognize that these numbers are still symbols. Whereas if I put it on my abacus, I have 7, I take away 2. I know I just need to take away the 2. I need to take away 2 again. Oh, all I got to do is take away the 2 again. And then take away the 2, right? So my final answer is 1. But here we wrestle with this in our brain. Okay, if I have to take away 2, what do I do? Math is wrong or right. It's soothing to me. Yeah, but that's not the problem, right? The problem is how you get there. A lot of the school teaches you to memorize. There's this one where I was doing research, and like, you need to memorize how to make a 9. Why do you want to learn why do you have to memorize how to make a 9? We don't need to memorize anything. So on the abacus, we have 1, and then we want to add the 8. That's what we're doing. So we do it again. We have 2 on the abacus. I need to memorize 7? No, I don't need to memorize 7. I just see it on my abacus and I have it right there. Do you see that? So I have to do the 3, right? I do the 3. I want to add 6. Do I need to memorize that 6? No, I don't, because I see it on my abacus. I don't need to memorize how to make a 9. There's another one I like to do, and it's the same thing. Kind of similar, right? We don't need to memorize extra stuff. Here's another thing that the kids are taught to memorize. We have the abacus, right? We have 23. 23 on the abacus, and we need to take away 19. To take away 19, what do we do? To take away 19, what do we do? In mainstream, you cross this out. You make this a 1, you make this 13. What happens? You have to memorize that 9 and 4 is equal to 13. Because 9 and 4 equals to 13, right? Then you know your answer is going to be 4. Whereas in abacus, you just need to know this 9. How do you minus the 9? Minus the 9 is equal to minus the 10 plus the 4. That's all you need to do. So it simplifies a lot of things. We can do it again. We have 35. In mainstream, you make this a 2, you make this 15. What happens? You have to memorize that 9 and 6 is equal to 15. But in Abacus, you just need to memorize this, the formula. The formula is minus the 9 is equal to minus the 10 plus the 4. Right? And we do it one more time. And then, yeah, we'll get to Ashley. Hold on, Ashley. I'm just in a rant right now. So here we do it again. We have a 8, we make this a 7. This has to be 16. What are we going to do? Same thing. You have to memorize that 7 and 9 are you have to memorize that they're the pair to make 16. But it's a 1-to-1. It's not a 1-to-1. It's not scalable. So what happens is we have to know this. In Abacus world, we just need to know minus the 9 is equal to minus the 10 plus the 4. That's it. So it simplifies everything that we need to do. These are all the things that mainstream math has to memorize. Abacus, we just need to memorize this. Oh, sorry, Ashley. Okay, so let's do a little review. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. If the colors are confusing, we could start off with the single color one. It doesn't matter what the colors, right? It matters where the positioning of the beads are. So whenever the beads are touching the reckoning bar, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 5. The 5 will always be the top bead, no matter what. We have 5, 6. So if we have 1, we add the 5, it is 6. We have 2, add the 5, it is now 7. We have 3, add the 5, now we have 8. We have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not, the 5 is not added, but when we add the 5, now we have 9. It's the same thing on this one too, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you so much. Hello, Sherry. Right? Thank you for checking in. So we have 5. 5 looks like that. Hello. And then what happens? We have to add 5 plus 1 is 6. 5 plus 2 is 7. 5 plus 3 is 8. 5 plus 4. So 2 10s, 2 5s, this would be 55. Does it matter which row you start with? Yeah, good job. Good, thank you. It does, actually. 10 is that. Because this is 1, this is 10, this is 100, this is 1,000. 1. Think of the numbers, right? The representation, 1. 1, 0. So, Ashley, if you notice, I have a label. This label tells me the ones place. So when I look, I can do this. My ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. Every column is a place value. Yes. Oh, yes. Good. Right, Brittany? So when we're looking at it, 1 tens is what we're doing. What was mentioned, this is 5 tens, 5 ones. So this is 55. Oh, good, Ashley. Oh, good.
Oh, I can see everything.
Right? So what we're doing is we're understanding every number is represented on the abacus. We have 9, 99, 999, 9,999, 9,999.99. So if you move the 10 up, this makes so much sense. Thank you, Kate. I've never knew how it works. So if you move the 10 up, because you don't have 2, 5 S at the top, right? If you move the 10 up, because you don't have 2. So if my number is 9, what's the question? What's the question, Tan? Can you give me a question? Hello, Merdolo. On the heavenly bar. Yes. What, for 50, for the number 10? Yeah, I need a question. I'm not sure. I don't understand that. So now, can you go through math problem like what you're doing, like 20, 15? If you ever become a CEO for Abacus Teaching one day, if you're hired, I like to apply. That's the hope, right? I'm hoping to make bajillions. I'm hoping that actually goes into the schools. That's what I'm hoping for. And if I can get it to there, then I think I'll be doing well. 25. Hold on. 10, I'm not sure I understand your question. 10, I don't understand your question. So Rose says 19, 15. If you don't have two beads on the top. Oh. You're talking about the Chinese abacus? Yeah. If it's a Chinese abacus, the two beads, you trade it in for a 10. Is that what you're talking about? So in the Chinese abacus is different. This is 10. Two beads on the top. That's 10. Because it's 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. Yep. That's what that is. Yeah. Hold on, Ashley. I'll be right there in a little bit. However, if I do this, this is actually 110. Because this is 100 and then this is 10. So it's a little confusing for me because I don't practice the Chinese abacus. But yeah, because you have it, right? Because you have it, when I order, does it come with a video to explain to my kids? No, I have an online class. It's a monthly of $20 a month. And I provide the videos for my books. And yeah, it's a subscription. Yeah. Yeah, I have a subscription for my online classes. I have an online class and I have videos on explaining how to do all of this. Okay, yeah. So, the question is 25. So the question is, okay, my kids are 6, 8, 12. Working around the same class. It will work for the 6-year-old. It'll be I don't have materials yet for the 12. It might be okay for your 8-year-old. Your 8-year-old and your 12-year-old will go a lot. Obviously, they will go a lot faster than your 6-year-old. But see, then the difference is it would be the same class because the videos are all the same. I haven't differentiated my books yet. I still have the books going from for the 6-year-old. I'm in the process of making more books to go with the 8 and the 12, but I haven't done that yet. So my books follow my videos. My videos follow my books, and so I'm not there yet, if that made sense. And then the question was 25 minus 19, right? So on the abacus we have 25, take away 9, take away 1, take away 9. Minus the 9 is what? Minus the 9 is minus the 10 plus the 4. That's not right. Plus the 1. Let me rewrite that. I got confused. Minus the 10 plus the 1. So then we do minus the 10 plus the 1. So my final answer is 16. If they are all new, they can all learn at the same time. Exactly. They are all new, they're going to learn at the same time, but they will learn faster. You know, as the 12-year-old will learn, hopefully will learn a lot faster than the 8-year-old. You know, 8-year-old and 12-year-old might learn the same speed, but it will take a little bit longer for the 6-year-old to catch on. It's just about, you know, how they think, that's all. But yeah, exactly. Thank you, Tan. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. But yeah, in mainstream, I was just thinking, in mainstream math, there's a lot of memorizing and a lot of they call it, you know, math illiterate. And the reason why is because of what? Because we do a lot of memorizing. Whereas in abacus, we have to understand what we're trying to do. If we're trying to take away the 9, we don't need to memorize this right here. What we need to do is we need to understand how to minus the 10. That's it. if we understand how to do all that, then everything becomes very simplified. All right. How are we doing? Complete digression. Oh, but these are like the best, right? Because you have questions, and I'm able to, and I feel like I am able to answer them. I hope they are sufficient answers for all of you. Yeah, thank you. Oh, right. So Ashley just came on. So before I forget, so ideally, so here are the books. Plus the 5 is the one set of books. Plus the 5. So this one here, this is a whole thing about adding of the 5, and we go through understanding it. So your 6-year-old can count to 9 will be fine. My pre-K kid is doing great. Oh yeah, and then that was the idea for this. The idea for these books was starting from pre-K to go up. But I'm going to start going into introducing Abacus to the individual grades. So then what you're going to do is after they know how to add and subtract, after they know how to move the beads, they go into adding of the 5. When they go adding of the 5, right, I give you the explanation on how to add the 4. There's a whole set. You need to learn how to add the 4, 3, 2, and 1. Once you know that, then there is practice problems. And I try to make the practice problems entertaining. So we have a hidden word problems, color by number, mazes. I have tic-tac-toe, more mazes, and so forth. I have connect the boxes, which is kind of like just connecting the boxes, and then color by number. I do have answers in the back of the book. For those of you that are just not sure what I was trying to say. So then after adding of the 5, you go into subtracting of the 5. So that is the concepts. So the way I individual, so they're not so overwhelmed. And I do feel like that in school they combine too much all at once, and they assume that that's enough. But I feel like in Abacus, if you just practice a little bit more, then you'll become to a point where it becomes automatic. So we did touch a little bit on the minus the 5. Minus the 5, again, what I do is we have to do the whole set. I love your friends. Thank you, Mr. Clean. So I have minus the 4. So what we're doing is we're taking the concept of minus the 5. Taking away the 5 is the constant. We learn how to subtract the 5, subtract the 3, subtract the 2, and then subtract the 1. Again, I also provide extra practice problems. So then, and it's kind of more engaging. And again, there's answers in the back of the book. I added word problems and the hidden words and mazes. Yep. See, there's mazes. We have one with 10, but I feel like it's simpler to understand. We have one with 10. What, 10 beads? Are you asking for the abacus that has 10 beads? Yes. You need modification. Modify. Here is a modification. So you have your 10 beads. What I would do is your 10, I gotta set it up. Hold on. Sorry. Let me set it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would tape 5. Do it again. I tape 5. So you would have something like this. Right? Do you see that? So I would tape it. You could do it. And then you would have to modify it. You would have to change the orientation like that. So then you can do this. Right? Then you can do that. Then after that, I would get a piece of paper. I would not piece it. Get a string of some sort. Get a string of some sort. That would be your reckoning bar. So it would be good for your 6-year-old, right? It would be good for your 6-year-old because they can understand that this concept is 5. So then it would work very similar to the abacus. We have 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, and then 9. I would have to ignore this. That's what I would do in the beginning. And then you can change it when they understand that this concept is 5, this is the top beat, this is 5, right? Then I would graduate them to the soroban. And then after you can graduate to the soroban, then maybe if you wanted to, it's up to you, graduate to the single color one. The 12-year-old, I would go with the single colored one because they would go into multiplication and division very quickly. And in multiplication and division, you need the extra columns to help you. There's not enough columns in the 7 column to help with a lot of the multiplication, because the multiplication can get really big, like an 8-digit number. So that's what I would do. And then you can use that. So then every column is a placeholder, right? Every column is a place value. Just like, right? Mark off 1 to be your ones place. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. And then and it's up to you if you want to purchase an abacus. But for right now, that's what I do. Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. I thought of that and I was like, that's brilliant. I'm smarter than I think I am. Yeah. And that's it. So this is the abacus, and so we talked about how to make a 5, how to make a 10, and that's the one thing. After you learn how to add the 5 and take away the 5, then you go into adding the 10 and minusing the 10. So that would be the thing. I love my lamp. Oh, this one? That's an old lamp. Good morning. Good morning, Texas Pete. Good morning.
You need modification. Modify.
No, I meant this one.
Good morning, apartment. Good morning, doorway. Morning wall. Morning ceiling. Good morning, floor. Ready to start the day.
Ready to start the day. Good morning. Good morning. Omar, this is the second time that you've asked. Is there a reason why? You know, interesting. The abacus has been around before Jesus Christ. I'm just saying. How many sounds do I have? I think I've got 24. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one.
Bueller. 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 Bueller.
If I have trolls, if I got trolls, this is what I got. This is what I have if I have trolls.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Maybe they asked because you offer a Christmas book. Maybe. I get a few trolls, so. Yeah, I get my fair share of trolls. How does my favorite vocal? Those are my 2 favorite. Yeah, there's this one too. I actually just added this one. That one is anybody know where that one came from? That one came from a movie. That's a great one too. Yeah. Mr. Clean, do you know? Yes, it is from the Goonies. It was when Chunk and Sloth are coming down the pirate ship. And then yeah. Mr. Clean, you know the one with the words? The words are coming out of my mouth. That one came from Rush Hour. Yep. And then I have this one.
If you're going hard enough left, you'll find yourself turning right.
Oh, right. That makes perfect sense. Turn right to go left.
Yeah. I've got a few. Yeah, I love cars. Yeah, my boys. I got 3 boys and they all liked cars. The Joy Cup. Yeah. That's one of my kids got a Christmas present or something. What else? What else do I have? I have the music one. I like it.
Level up, 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 level up.
No. He's talking about my cup. So, when is it backwards? Oh, maybe I gotta put myself. There we go. Now it looks better. Because I readjusted, that's why. Okay, so. There we go. Now the words are not so bad. I'm quoting Mater. Oh, yeah! Yeah, there we go. He did what to his cup? Yeah. I had another one. Where I have a person that likes to take showers and he's learning Abacus. You know, I know it's a joke, but I actually have a thing for that. I have a quote for that one. It was a Lego movie one.
Step 2, greet the day, smile, and say, Good morning, city!
That's funny. That's funny. I remember that quote. He did what with his cup? Yeah. Okay, so, good morning, city. Good morning. It's time to learn. Hello, applesauce. It is time for breakfast. You know, it's so crazy. Like, I'm in the middle of the night for me. It's like 3 a.m. and I still get a fair amount of people, which is crazy. Oh, it's only 15 of us. Hello, good morning. Good morning, good morning. It's interesting. Yeah, I think because everybody's at work, and so there's not a lot of people in the morning. And I'm trying to figure this out, but I have like different conversations when I have it in the morning. But yeah, and then during the night is usually very basic stuff, so we just go through the same thing. It's almost 9 a.m. Oh yeah, it's 8:45 here. Sun is up. It's not nighttime. I know, but you know what? There's not a lot of people in my room now, so we could talk about we talk about other things. But having that note, I might go get some breakfast. Maybe I'll go for a run. I gotta start running. This is crazy. So Ashley, so that's it. I mean, there's more to it, but I try to explain it. If you want, I think there should be a service button at the bottom. You might be able to, or you can DM me. But if you click on that link, it shows TikTok that I am providing a service. I don't know if the stupid thing works. It's sometimes there, sometimes it's not there, and I always have to check. But if you're interested in like any of the books I do have. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out if I have that there. It's there. Oh, thank you, Rickmar. Yeah, there's a Service Plus that if you wanted to know more about my service, I do have online classes. I have, and I also do provide tutoring as well. So yeah, the service, hold on, let me check. Yeah, I always have to check. No. Sometimes there's a little plus sign that says service. Sometimes it shows up. I don't know when it shows up, and it kind of annoys me. But yeah, there's supposed to be. But yeah, if you want to, Brittany, you can, or Ashley, you can DM me. Brittany or Ashley, you can DM me and about the online classes. So I do provide that. Yeah. So yeah. Do you like going shopping? I don't. I don't go shopping. I gotta bring in some books. So that's what I got. And I want to make a couple more dry erase books too. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think practicing 3 times a week for my daughter with online book would be perfect. Yeah. Well, the videos are self-paced, so I can't find the time either. Yeah. Get back. Oh, hello. I was like, why are you yelling at me? I think practicing 3 times a week for my daughter with online and the workbook would be perfect. Yeah, I would. I provide one. I provide if you're looking for private tutoring, I offer once a week for 30 minutes, and I also provide homework. My recommendation, if you want to do online, in its self-pace, I would recommend 1 page a day, like 5, 10, 15 minutes, because we want to make sure that we keep up. But then the other thing is, is what? Just trying to understand, the concepts. So. And Rook! Hello, and Rook! Thank you so much for checking in. I have stickers. Do you see the stickers? Can you do one? Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the Pharaoh mask. Do you see the stickers? I got stickers. Mazes show us the counting. Oh yeah. Thank you for the reminder. Yes. So I'm gonna put this one into my shop. Applesauce, did you see my stickers? I got stickers. So this one is going to be going into my TikTok shop. I finally got it available in my store. But what I'm going to do is I'm homeschooled her last year. I wish I would have known about this sooner. I'm sorry, Brittany. I didn't mean to gatekeep. I'm going to check them out now. I didn't mean to gatekeep. I realized, and I just didn't know. My thing is that, I mean, I've been teaching Abacus for 20 years. The Halloween is sold out. It is. Are you looking for Halloween? I know Halloween's coming up, and I was like, maybe I should try to make a whole series of Halloween. I love that you're advocating for this. I do believe that this is the greatest thing next to sliced bread. I believe it is. It's interesting because why? Because the fact that we can see our numbers, it makes it crazy that it makes maths, it makes adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing so much easier because you could see it. So we have our number. We're going to do 4 digits. What number do we think this is? If I have my thousands, this is my hundreds, I'm coloring in. This is my tens, and then this is my ones. What number do you think this is? So I have my thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones. What number do we think that is? Yeah, I find that there's a lot of gaps in mainstream math. And then what they do is they just try to supply more strategies instead of really understanding the concepts. Thank you. Is 9, 4, 0, 1. Super is very close. Yes, because we have to remember that the top beat is a value of 5. Because we have that, I want to go with green. I like green. Yeah. And so if I add the 5 to this one, this would be 9, but it's not. So this is 4. The difference between these two is that there's the top bead. The top bead is what's counted, right? So we have 1 over here. If I add the top bead, we have 6. We have 2. If this is 2, we have the top bead. Now we have 7. So this top bead is what dictates whether we go higher than 5 or less than 5. So our number is, I can't even find it. Oh, there it is. There we go. So that's what it is. So we have 9, 9, 4, 0, 1. Yeah. And that was the thing, is like I would go through and I would start dissecting what mainstream math is doing, and then how does the abacus relate to what they're teaching. And I do realize that mainstream math is very heavy on paper and paper and pencil. And so the problem with that is you don't see the place values. So in the abacus, you could see place values. You know that this is the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So it's easier to add and subtract, multiply and divide because you know those place values. So this is my tens, and then this is my ones. What number do we think that is? Thank you, applesauce. Okay. Okay, Mr. Clean, I'll see you later. Thank you for the company. No, thank you for joining. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah. Hopefully I'll get my multiplication division out the door. Plus the 5. Yes, exactly. Plus the 5 minus plus 2. Plus the 5 plus 2. You have a 3. Well done, applesauce. And then 5 plus 1 is 6. So we have 7, 7, 3, 7. 6. That's what a 6 is. Exciting to see all sold out. It is exciting. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. But it's a little nerve-wracking because when people want to buy it, I don't have any available at stock. So, yeah. But I finally got one shipment in, and I got to do another order because I realized I didn't have any -5s. So I got to get some -5s going. Thank you. Yes, super. It is 7, 7, 3, 6. Thank you, Brittany. Yes, exactly. That's what the number is. That delay with the new books from the printer? Yeah. Yeah. What is the delay? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's because school is out or they're doing a lot more. I don't know. But it is what it is. It's okay. It's just one of those things that I have to like try to work around and schedule better. So our next number here, what we're doing is we're doing a 4-digit number. Oh, you can't see that. 4-digit number. There we go. Yeah. It's okay. Right? We're just here for the journey. So we have our thousands, our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. I've learned to not expect to be on time. So we have our hundreds, and then we have our tens and our ones. You know what? This is going to be my last one. And then I'm going to head out. I'm going to get ready to I got to get more of my listing. And then, yeah, I'm going to head out. I'm going to get breakfast, figure out what's going to happen. And then I got to work on my listings and make sure my shop is available for stuff. But yeah, I do appreciate everybody for joining. What's my last number? What is my last number? Thank you, Brittany. It is 1,463. Well done. Well done. So it's interesting when you can see the number, right? It's very interesting when you can see the number. I was asking because you did Halloween. You could do Christmas, then spring and the summer workbooks. Yeah. Yeah. No, I have a whole, that's what I was going, a whole series of it. But what I need to do is I need to finish my, I need to finish the main one, which is this one. The main one is with the owls. I want to finish that. My next one is to do plus the two-step equations is going to be my next one. So I'm adding in the two-step equations and then subtracting the two-step equations. And then after that, I was going to do multiplication. And then after that was going to do division. When I'm done with division, then I was going to go back and I was going to do it themed. And that was the plan. But I need to make sure that I get my curriculum out. And so gear it towards specific grades. So grade 1, how do you use it on the abacus? Grade 2, how do you use it on the abacus? Grade 3, how do you use the abacus? So that was the next plan. And then after that would make it themed. But for right now, the theming the abacus curriculum is not my main priority right now. Main priority is trying to get it out there as well as getting a full curriculum. Yeah. But I appreciate everybody for joining. Thank you so much for joining. I am going to head out. Thank you, Enric, if you're still here. Thank you so much for the gifts and checking in. So, for those people that are interested, go ahead and check in with the Orange Heart Me. I do have custom stickers. You're doing great, thank you. It makes sense. Oh yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. And it, it's very helpful that I have you guys to help me, figure out where to go. You know what I mean? So I do find it, very beneficial that I go live and just have a conversation. But yeah, that was the one thing that was kind of that was the one thing that kind of sparked it, was just also making an abacus for adults. That really sparked. I didn't even think that was a thing, but I have the one for the adults, and this will be ready for being listed as well. So my product line is growing. When do I go live? Tonight. I'm gonna go live tonight, kind of like 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I was trying to do 8 o'clock, but it's tough because I'm getting my kid to read. Today's Friday. It might be 8, it might be 9. Morning, noon, or midnight. Yeah. I do a lot of pop-ups. Like this morning, I try to get on as early as possible. I'm trying to be more regular at night. So I think it's coming out, and then it just depends on what chores I have, right? So, oh yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you, Applesauce. Click on the bell for notifications. I'm trying to do 8, 9 at night, and then whenever I wake up in the morning. Yeah. Thank you, Middle Cat, for following. Thank you. That would be perfect for Middle Cat. And remember to open your mind. Yes, you're right.
Now, open your mind to me, please. Open your mind.
I gotta find some other sound bits. I don't like the regular sound, the default sound bits. Middle Cat. That was for you. Thank you for the follow, Middle Cat. All right, but I am gonna head out. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Applesauce. I do appreciate you joining. Have a good day. Wave. Bye.